Hi, Brett. How are you doing today?
Gilbert, I'm doing very well. Thanks for having me on again.
Yes, maybe you can just start off by giving us a bit of an overview of your new company, Pasofino Gold.
Yeah, no problem. Pasofino is a relatively unheard and undervalued gold company. We have 100% of the Dugbe Gold Project in Liberia, which is in West Africa. And the project has been around for about 18 years. And it originally was developed by Hummingbird Resources. And then in 2020, it was taken control of by Pasofino Gold with Hummingbird as a majority shareholder. We have completed a feasibility study in November 2022, and it has stellar economics at $1,700 gold price, which was used back then.
Great to hear. Can you tell us more on this project here? Quite a compelling opportunity, and a bit of a bit of more details on what's been done over the years until now.
Yeah, absolutely. There's been about 150,000 meters of drilling on the property. There's been a number of studies done on it, both the PEA and PFS. But in November of 2022, we filed a bankable feasibility study at the time. And although that's 3 years ago now, the economics back then at $1,700 gold were quite good. The scope of the project at the feasibility study is about 5 million tons a year, and it generates 171,000 ounces of gold a year for 14 years. However, the first 5 years are all over 200,000 ounces. It's got a low manageable strip ratio of 4.2 to 1, and it's got a head grade of 1.3 grams per ton. And the production profile is based on recoveries of 83%. So our plan over the next 6 to 12 months is to update that feasibility study and make it current, make it into 2025. Obviously, a number of things have happened in the gold price environment over the last 12, 24 months. That's a bit of an understatement, but we've seen gold go from around $1,600 to where we are today at $3,300. So more than double in 12 months. So the first thing we need to do is look at our resource, look at how we've constrained the pits and at what price, and look at using a higher gold price assumption. And then the second thing will be to put whittle shells on a mine plan at a higher gold price as well, dovetailed with the MRE, dovetailed with the resource. And then just updating current items of the feasibility study on the CapEx and on the OpEx to make it current to today's environment.
That's a lot of good developments there. Maybe just spend some time on a bit on the country location, because some of the investors, especially the mining side, maybe not too familiar with Liberia as a country or mining friendliness. Can you tell us more about that?
It's a great question, and it's one I get asked quite a bit because I've been in this business for 37 years, and I've lived and worked in Africa in about 8 countries. And I've built mines in Burkina Faso, in Mali, in Sierra Leone, and in the DRC. And I've worked in other countries like Guinea, like Ghana, like Cote d'Ivoire, and Liberia. And I come back to Liberia after not being there for 10 years, and I see it now as kind of a preeminent mining jurisdiction, very underexplored. There's only 6 operating mines in Liberia, 4 iron ore and 2 gold companies. And there is a large part of the Birimian super structure, the Greenbelt zone that comes out of Cote d'Ivoire into Liberia, and it's very, very underexplored. So, they've had a stable democracy since 2013. A very strong U.S. presence since the history with the U.S. They trade in U.S. dollars, and they also have a local currency, but they trade primarily in U.S. dollars, and they speak English. So it's very easy to do business there. The mining code is quite favorable for mining companies. The tax code is quite favorable. And we have a mineral development agreement that lays all of that out for 25 years of being in business in the country. So I'm excited about not just about the project, but about kind of where we are. This is one of the last frontiers for exploration in West Africa. And it's very, very, it's a very, very good opportunity for investors to get in at this stage, this early stage, and certainly with Pasofino.
And you just addressed the geopolitical risk there. And how about financial risk? Tell us a bit more your plans, how to fund the next stage of development for your company.
Yeah, we are going to put a small kind of raise together in the near term. But over the last month, I've been working with our largest shareholder, which was Hummingbird Resources. They were acquired by Nyoko Resources. And I've been working with Nyoko on a cooperation and support agreement, really to align the strategy between the minority interests and the majority interests, and trying to kind of dovetail them together. And we were very successful in coming to what we call the cooperation support agreement, whereby the majority shareholder has agreed to fund their pro rata share up to $10 million this year, up to $15 million next year on a pro rata basis, so that they would fund half of that. And for me, that gives me the lead order. That gives, and I also fund this business as well. I have made a significant personal investment in this business, and I will continue to, because I believe in this project. And as you know, Gilbert, I've been, you and I have talked about 2 or 3 of my last projects, like Midnight Sun Mining. I was the CEO, I'm a director, and I'm a major shareholder. Gold Shore Resources, I was the founder with Galen McNamara. We both put in a lot of money, and I'm still a director on Gold Shore Resources, but I get behind projects that I believe in, and I fund them, and I bring in my colleagues and my network, because I know that this is a winner. I know that this is going to make money. Today, the market cap is just over $60 million. This is a 4 million ounce project in a very stable jurisdiction with a feasibility study done. So it has tremendous economics, and happy to highlight some of those economics, because I think people really have not got it because they haven't looked at the story before.
So your company, just talk about a bit of valuations here. What your companies have multi-million ounces of gold right now. You have done the PFS. Obviously, you're trading below 100 million market cap, which is way below some of your peers or similar companies with that amount of gold. So can you tell us what are the main, what are the factors to that, and how can you go about sort of re-rating this company later on?
So there's 2 questions there. And the first question is, why are we trading where we are? And the second question is really about how do we stack up against the industry, our peers, et cetera. And the first answer, I don't know. I don't have a definitive reason why we are trading where we're trading. First of all, the stock is very illiquid. I'm going to change that. I'm going to bring liquidity to this stock. I'm going to market this stock, and we are going to get new investors into the stock very, very quickly. So I think one of the reasons it's illiquid is because everyone has seen Hummingbird as a major shareholder, and that just naturally thought there would be a graduation to Hummingbird, taking control of it, or taking back control of it and building it. And that may or may not be the case. So Pasofino, we are our own entity. We have to prepare this project for 2 things: either prepare to build it, and or prepare to look for a strategic exit or a strategic partner down the road. And I'm preparing for both of those things. And the main thing is getting new eyes on the story, much like your subscribers and your base. I want them to understand the story, because when we look at this as compared to our peers, today we're trading at $15 an ounce. That is just an incredibly low valuation, given that we have 2.6 million ounces of reserves and collectively 3.3 million ounces of M&I, including the reserves, and almost 600,000 ounces of inferred. And if I look at historical valuation norms, you know, even 10 or 15 years ago, we used to get $180 an ounce for reserves. And we used to get about $80 for measured and indicated. And we used to get about $30 for inferred. We're trading at $15 an ounce all in. And if you look at those historic valuations based on the quality of the resource, we should be trading at $550 million today. And I gather that may be a little unrealistic to wrap our arms around, given that we're trading at 63 today. So we're really trading around 10 or 11% of where I think the potential of this company can go. And we've started to see transactions. You look at Asino, look at Tieto in Côte d'Ivoire, and look at Lumina and the acquisition by CMOC just recently. That, you know, they were rewarded a very big valuation for the work they did. Lumina is in a very similar jurisdiction than us. They're in Ecuador, and you know, from a geopolitical risk standpoint, probably fairly close together. Very workable, but probably fairly close. But their grade is half of what ours is. So I look at this project at 1.3 grams, 4 million ounces, feasibility study done. We're going to update it. I just see tremendous potential to take this well north of 150 or $200 million in the very, very near term.
Great, Brad. I think a lot to look forward to for the investors here in terms of Pasofino Gold. This is the sort of the beginning stage of the potential good opportunities in the gold space.
I agree, Gilbert. I really do believe that this is going to be the preeminent gold development project that goes into construction next in West Africa. And, you know, I think generally a lot of our peers see that, although it hasn't translated into liquidity, given this disconnect between the gold price and gold equities, particularly juniors and developers. We won the top gold project in Africa at Mining Indaba in just this past February. It was the Dragon's Den event where, and you can see it online, whereby we were up against some really, really good gold projects in Africa, yet we prevailed and we won. So I think the market is going to start and see this. This is a preeminent, just an emerging growth story that I think your investors will be excited about.
Great. Thank you for your time here today. I look forward to seeing you present at our upcoming gold conference. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, Gilbert. Look forward to it.
Thank you.